Hey guys, welcome to Kidmissing TV. Today's case is that of Jason Landry. He was studying at Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas on December 13th, 2020, and I don't usually do them this new, but I felt this case was a little strange. He packed up to go to his parents' house in Missouri City, Texas for Christmas break. And it's explained that San Marcos is close to San Antonio, and Missouri City is right outside of Houston. So it's a 3-hour drive. I knew it was far when they said San Antonio to Houston. His car was found around 12:30 to 1 a.m. off a back road in Lulling, Texas. It looked like he went off the road and hit a barbed wire fence and a tree. A volunteer firefighter was going home down Salt Flats, which I guess is the name of the road, and called in the accident. The vehicle was still running, the keys were in the ignition, the doors were locked, and lights on, with no sign of Jason. But there was significant damage to both the rear and front end. Somebody ran him off the road, is what that says to me. They're saying the back window was blown out by the collision. A front-end collision? Yeah, no. His phone and wallet were found between the driver's seat and center console. His backpack and belongings were discovered about 900 feet away from the accident, scattered across the road. He's never been seen or heard from again. There was foul play here, I'm sorry. Your back window doesn't blow out in a front-end collision, and you certainly don't have rear-end damage in a front-end collision. Unless you spun or I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't pass the smell test. As we used to say, something stinks in Denmark. A lot of people believe that law enforcement, EMS, and other officials in the small town of Lulling were involved in his disappearance. I'm not sure why they believe that. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go take those out of the oven. That's driving me crazy. And if you hear another sound, it's my dishwasher. I'm back. Okay. They're beautiful, by the way. His father said, quote, and this was in 2021, and he was found, he wasn't found. He was 21 years old when he disappeared. And the following year, 2021, the father said, quote, last year we searched the whole area over and over and still nothing, end quote. There is a $20,000 reward in this case. Here's a quote. It's time to double the reward being offered to find him. We believe and we hope that raising the reward will help provide incentive for that one person who may know something to come forward with the information that leads to Jason's whereabouts. End quote from his GoFundMe. Following an increase to the reward, any remaining funds raised will be used to continue our efforts. Advertising costs, search costs, etc., to locate Jason. End quote, again from his GoFundMe. In November of 2023, the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, issued a statement in the cold case stating that in November, multiple agencies met in November of 2023. Multiple agencies met and reviewed the evidence. And he said, quote, "The panel thoroughly examined all parts of the case and concluded that all credible leads and investigative steps have been thoroughly pursued up to this point." End quote. Here's another quote from the statement. "We consider this matter an ongoing and active investigation and encourage anyone with credible information about the case to contact the unit on the Texas Attorney General TIPS website." His laptop, gaming equipment, and personal items like toiletries. If he vanished on purpose, he would have taken those things with him, especially if you were a gamer. You can go to the Texas Attorney General's website and submit your tips and maybe even learn more about the case or any other missing case in Texas. It is www.texasattorneygeneral.gov/cold-case-tips. That's www.texasattorneygeneral.gov/cold-case-tips. I think that's a very good one for Oddities October. Excuse me. I just want to end this by saying that, well, first of all, I sincerely believe there was foul play here. I don't think there's any question. I feel for his family. Like I said, a much newer case than I normally do, but I felt it needed doing. His family deserves healing. And they can't get that until they find out what happened to their son. I will try to find the GoFundMe and link that as well. That's helping to raise the reward. Do I think that police and EMS in Lulling had anything to do with it? What would be the motive? He was just a kid driving down the highway. That to me doesn't make a lot of sense. The only reason that it might make sense is that it happened to be EMS personnel that found him. But he probably lived in the area and was driving home down a back road, you know? So I don't know that that's odd, because EMS personnel tend to know the area, or people who've always lived in the area tend to know the area really well, or really well, and will sometimes go down odd back roads that they know of just for the scenery. My father used to do it. He used to take us for rides on sunny days down all the back roads, and my parents would reminisce about stuff I wasn't old enough to remember. And It was just fun. And if people, and he might have decided, well, it's a beautiful night in December. I think I'm going to enjoy the back roads on my way home. Anything is possible. So I don't want to say that just because people believe that that particular small town is corrupt, that they did anything to him. Because, excuse me, even if they were corrupt, they would have no reason to. Oh, excuse me. I believe that he was forced off the road. Somebody hit the back of his car quite hard and somehow shattered his rear windscreen, his rear window. I don't know what force it would take to do that. And interestingly, his phone and wallet were found in between the center console and the driver's seat. I think they probably fell down there when the accident occurred. I think they were probably sitting on the center console, although I can't imagine why they weren't in the center console. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But I don't know exactly what he was driving. I would love to know what kind of force it would take in an accident from behind to shatter the rear window completely. So, and remember, the rear window is made of different glass than the front window. The windshield, the front window, is made of laminated glass, so that there's like a laminate plastic glue in between two layers of glass, so that if you hit it, it doesn't break into big shards, which can kill you, or shatter into little tiny pieces. The rear windscreen is made out of glass that shatters into little tiny pieces, like little tiny, teeny tiny pieces. Again, probably not going to hurt you. You'll get rained on with glass, but it's not going to hurt you. Because they're really tiny pieces that it breaks into. It's made to do that. Is that tempered, or is tempered the one that breaks into shards? No, I think that's tempered. So that's, and it is actually quite difficult to break. I've seen experiments on Mythbusters where they've tried to use the front window for an experiment and had to resort to using the rear window. They were using the experiment, could you hold your hand on it and stop it from breaking? And the front window just wouldn't break because of the material, the type of glass it's made of. So they did the rear window and it just shattered into probably millions of pieces, and I don't exaggerate on that. Millions of pieces when it shatters. And it didn't matter, the Grant's hand was there, covered in a cut-proof glove. He was covered, he was safe. But it's probably the size of little tiny diamonds, like little diamond shards. They're ridiculously small. And so, because the two windows are made differently from each other, I still don't think if you hit a car in the back, you could break that. Because we were hit in the back very hard. Like, to the point that it broke out a hole about yay big in the fiberglass in the back of the car and pushed that piece of fiberglass into the trunk. Rear window wasn't broken. My back felt like it was, but the rear window wasn't. Because I was sitting right in front of where he hit. And he hit. We were stopped. So I don't think hitting from behind is going to shatter it. I think someone either shot through it or hit it with an object. A rock, a hammer, a tire iron, something. For whatever reason. Mistaken identity, maybe? Maybe they mistook his car for someone's car that someone was obviously very mad at. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Thank you so much. Please continue to subscribe. We have goals, guys. I want to get to 500 by the end of the year. And my ultimate goal is to be at 1,000 by my birthday next year so that we can go live. That's my goal. So let's keep pushing toward that goal. With a goal of 500 by New Year's. Bye, guys. God bless you.